wonderful musicians, but our crew is just phenomenal. How about it from Chad Stewart, Stewart Sound Outfit. With Stewart Sound also comes T on lighting, doing a fantastic job back there. And also our tour coordinator, Miss Beth Estes, who keeps it all together, bringing me tea, bringing me Kleenex, bringing me all this. How about it from Miss Beth Estes? And last but not least, Chad's father, his name is Jimmy Stewart, believe it or not. And he is a storyteller. He is also a marvelous fix-it man. And each year before the tour begins, we ask him for a Christmas story, or a story that might be applicable to the year's theme, Silent Night, A Restless World. So this year, this is what he told us. Jimmy's 6 years old. He loves running around the neighborhood with Natty Goat, his favorite friend. But they're always double dared by the 9-year-olds, doing something utterly foolish that seems like the best thing in the world to do. This particular day, the 9-year-olds had dug up the manhole, wide open. There were 3 narrow pipes. They double dared Jimmy to go down one of those pipes, and he was a slight little 6-year-old kid. Not much more than 12 inches in diameter. Kind of a scary, dark place to enter into. He thought about it for a minute and he said, "Give me a second." And he ran home to his candle drawer in his house. Every house had a candle drawer back then because the power was so often out back then. So he came back, he had a little birthday candle and a set of matches. He got into that hole with that lit candle and started crawling. Down 50 feet. Boy, it's a dark place, touching his shoulders on every side. Dark and damp. He sees a passageway go off to the right. It's getting a little scary. The candle's burned down halfway. He sees another passageway going off to the left. Man, this is something deep I got myself into. The candle is burned down to a nub. It starts smoldering, just about to go out, and he sees ahead of him some sunlight coming from the sewer that happens to be the rain drainage dish that comes off of the street. The only trouble is it's not an escape for him because it's got bars across it to keep various and sundry items from falling down there. Well, greeting him was the daylight, greeting him was all the 9-year-olds, cheering him on as the hero of the neighborhood. And that ruckus brought the mothers down to see Jimmy trapped in the sewer. The mothers' ruckus brought the fire department. The fire department called the police department. And because they considered using a backhoe to lift that sidewalk up to get Jimmy out, they called the city planners to see where those tunnels went and how to go about doing this. It was a mess, and Jimmy realized the gravity of the situation. He started bawling his eyes out. A friendly policeman knelt next to him and said, "Hey son, why can't you just crawl back through this tunnel? You came in, you stayed straight, didn't you?" And Jimmy said, "I think so." But he said, "Why can't you crawl back?" He goes, "I just can't do it. I can't go back." And the policeman said, "Why?" And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, if you go back to my candle drawer and get me a little candle, I can go back." The policeman reached into his side belt and pulled out a powerful flashlight. He said, "Will this do the trick?" And Jimmy said, "Yeah, that's it, I can do it." And he scampered through that tunnel in about 2 minutes flat, greeted by all the 9-year-olds, the hero of the neighborhood, and behind the 9-year-olds were standing his mother and father with stern looks on their faces. I love this story because it reminds me of Christmas's call to a greater light than our own. We move on, calling to a greater light, Emmanuel, God with us. The light we brought into this trouble is not going to get us back, get us out. That little candle calls us forward. Oh, holy night, oh, silent night. Would you sing this with us, please?
A restless world is sleeping.